Okay, I have a brand new effect to share with you today. And for this effect, we just need 8 cards. So let me go ahead and just shuffle the deck here a few times so we can get 8 random cards. Yeah, that's 2. Maybe we'll do a third one, call it good. Okay, so 8 random cards. So maybe I'll just deal out some from different parts. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 random cards. Now, one of the purposes of this routine is to teach you, if you don't already know, a couple of powerful shuffles. And one of them will introduce a variation on it that I don't think you've ever seen before. So the first one is called the Klondike Shuffle. This is where you take the top and bottom cards off as one. Klondike Shuffle. Okay? We can also do something called the lazy Klondike Shuffle. Well, this is where you take pairs off, like I was just doing, but you do it until you're tired, and then you just drop the rest on top. So I've done 1 pair, 2 pairs, maybe we don't want to do any more, so you just drop the rest on top and call it a day. Okay, so that's a lazy Klondike Shuffle. The other mixing I'm hoping to show you is something called the Australian down, under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down, under. Last one goes on top. That one you may or may not have seen before, but a very useful way to just mix the cards beyond the knowledge of any spectator or anyone. Now, to help mix the cards further, I'd like you to choose a random number between 1 and 8. It is a free choice. Any number between 1 and 8. 4? Okay. So what I'm going to deal out 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop the rest on top. Okay. Now, I really want you to make a decision that feels right for you. I'm going to mix the cards further, but you're going to decide what I do. I've introduced the Klondike Shuffle. Would you like me to perform any more of those? We could perform no more of those, or as many as you like, and we can even do some lazy Klondike Shuffles if you would like. So how many Klondike Shuffles should I perform? 3 of them. How many of them should be lazy ones? Just 1. Okay. So I'll go ahead and perform. So you said 3 Klondike Shuffles. So take the top and bottom off as 1. Okay. So that's the first Klondike Shuffle. Second, coming up right here. And then I believe you asked for 1 lazy Klondike Shuffle. Well, you have to tell me how lazy you want it to be. So I'll take off a pair. Should I take off another pair or just give in at this point and drop the rest on top? One more pair? Okay. And now just drop the rest on top? Okay. That's a pretty lazy Klondike Shuffle. And to finish, how many additional down-under shuffles should I perform? I think we've only done 1 of them so far. So how many down-under shuffles would you like me to carry out on this packet? 2 more? Okay. We can do 2 more. So, down. I was going to do an under, down. Down, under, down, under, down. Now, know that you could have chosen any number of down unders. In fact, at any point you can change your mind, I guess. But you asked for 2 of these, which is fine. 2 down unders. That's great. Under, down, under, down. Last one goes on top. Well, I actually have a written prediction off to the side that I think we'll take a look at this point. I think we've mixed the cards enough that really no one could know anything about the packet for the simple reason that no one could anticipate the choices that you would make in mixing these cards. So what did I think would be the outcome of these random choices made by you? The top card is a joker. The top card is a joker. What are the chances of that, seeing that I didn't see any jokers there? Top card is a... Oh, no. The top card is not a joker. Okay. So Oh, wait. There's something more here. Just joking. Oh, okay. So the top card will not necessarily be the Joker because we're joking. Well, the Joker is hiding at the bottom of the packet. You're kidding me. The Joker is hiding at the bottom of the... There he is. Yeah, I'd say he's hiding at the bottom. How did we pull that off with a written prediction nailing the outcome of your freely made choices? Okay, so how does this work? Well, very quickly, you begin with whatever card you want to reveal. You begin with it at the top of the deck, like this. And then you can riffle shuffle the cards as many times as you like, as long as you just retain the top card, which isn't too hard to do, as I missed it the first time. Okay, so just let the right hand fall last. Okay, maybe we'll do another one to help make up for my first bad one since I was talking. Okay, so the Joker survived at the top through all of those. Okay, so just focus on the fact that Joker's on the top. And let me just bring a write-up here so you can kind of see what's going on. So what are the principles at play here? Three of them, I think. Three different little principles here. So first off, for a packet of 2 to the n cards, so this would be 2 cards, 4, 8, 16, 32, and so forth, the following is true. For the down-under shuffle, the top and bottom cards just switch places, back and forth, every time you perform it. For the Klondike shuffle, the bottom card is a fixed point. It just stays at the bottom forever. Now, that's even true if you do a, quote, lazy Klondike shuffle, because whether you Klondike a pair to the table or not, the card of interest is at the bottom. So if you even set one pair on the table, it really doesn't matter what you do with the rest of the cards. You can Klondike them or just drop them on top. The card of interest is at the bottom, which is where we need it to be. Okay? So for a packet of 8 cards, in particular, the first and last cards, 1 and 8, will just switch places, and the 8th card will stay where it is. Okay, so you begin with card of interest at the top, riffle shuffle while retaining the top card. Deal 8 cards to the table. Now, if we do that at this, remember the Joker's on top. So if I deal 8 cards to the table, we take from different places. Just make sure the first card gets set on the table. I may have dealt out more than 8. Let me just check here. I think I probably have 9. 2, 4, 6. Oh, I have 8. Okay, and the Joker's at the bottom. Okay, and then demonstrate the Klondike shuffle. Okay, well, as mentioned here, that bottom card, which is the Joker, will just stay there. Okay, and it doesn't matter how many times you do the Klondike shuffle, the Joker's not going anywhere. You can even stop right there and say, I'm tired, we're done. That's the lazy Klondike shuffle. Okay, and then see right here, I guess I mentioned the lazy Klondike shuffle right here. That's fine. And then from there, I demonstrated the down under. So the down under, what is the down under going to do with the bottom card? It's going to move it to the top. That's where it's going to go. Down, under, down. Okay, so the card of interest here, the Joker, will now be on the top. It'll be the very top card. Okay. And now you ask the spectator for a random number between 1 and 8. It doesn't matter what it is, because the goal is to just move the top card to the bottom. Okay, so what number, whatever they say, 1 through 8, let's say they say 6. You go, remember, Joker's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop the rest on top. We accomplished what we needed, namely we've moved the Joker to the bottom. That's great. And then you can ask the spectator how many, this is really where they're beginning to make choices. They made a choice of a number between 1 and 8, which is great. But now they're going to choose how many Klondike shuffles to perform, followed by whatever number of down unders they would like. Okay, so since the card's at the bottom, it doesn't matter how many they ask for. That joker stays on the bottom. You can do a lazy one as well. Okay, and then you can ask the spectator for any number of down unders. Okay, so this is where you just have to pay attention. Right now, the joker's at the bottom. So remember what happens with the bottom card after one down under. It moves to the top and it bounces back and forth. Okay, so I have a statement right here. If an even number down unders are requested, the joker stays at the bottom. Okay, so you can just reveal it there, which is what I did. I think I assumed that you asked for 2 of these. Okay, so if you ask for an even number of down unders, the joker will stay right where it is, because for the first down under, it will move to the top, and then if you were to do a second down under, it now moves to the bottom again, so it'll be back on the bottom. Okay, which is, if you want that written prediction that I just showed you, you want it at the bottom. You don't have to go with that written prediction. Now, what do you do if they ask for an odd number? Okay, because he could have asked for just 1 down under, or 3 or 5. Okay, so the thing to do there is just pull the same little stunt that we pulled off earlier. So if they asked for an odd number, so just 1 of them, then of course the spectator or the joker will now be at the top, which is not necessarily where we want it for our written prediction. So it'll come to the top. So all you do is you just ask the spectator a second time for a random number between 1 and 8. And then maybe they'll say 4 or something. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've moved the joker back to the bottom, which will agree with your written prediction. And then you just reveal it at the bottom like I did. Okay, very good. So you should be able to do this right away. You know the principles needed to do it. And I appreciate you watching and encourage you to take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.